In the year 2010, the concept of purchasing was incredibly simple. If you wanted a piece of software to edit your videos, you paid a one-time fee. Maybe it was $150. You brought it home, you installed it on your hard drive, and the transaction was permanently closed. The software belonged to you. You could use it for the next 10 years without paying another cent. You owned the tools of your trade. Today, that transaction no longer exists. The buy button has been quietly, systematically erased from the digital economy, replaced by a much more insidious concept, the subscribe button. You no longer buy your software, you rent it. You pay $20 a month, every single month, forever. At first glance, $20 feels cheaper than $150. It feels accessible, it feels like a low barrier to entry. But let us do the actual math, because the math is where the illusion falls apart. In year one, that $20 subscription costs you $240. You are already paying more than the original purchase price. By year 5, you have paid $1,200 for the exact same access. By year 10, you have surrendered $2,400. And the most terrifying part is not the total amount. The terrifying part is that after spending thousands of dollars, you still own absolutely nothing. The exact second your credit card expires or your payment declines, you're locked out of your own workspace. Your past projects, your tools, your livelihood held hostage behind a paywall. This shift was not an accident. It was not done for your convenience, no matter what the marketing campaigns tell you. It was a calculated, structural redesign of the global economy. To understand why this happened, you have to look at Wall Street. In the financial world, there's a metric called ARR, annual recurring revenue. Investors are absolutely obsessed with it. If a company sells you a physical product once, Wall Street views that as unpredictable. They have to hope you come back and buy another product next year. But if a company can lock you into a monthly subscription, that revenue is guaranteed. Because of this, the stock market rewards subscription-based companies with massive valuations. A company that sells products might be valued at 3 times its revenue. A company that sells subscriptions can be valued at 10, 15, or 20 times its revenue. The executives running these companies realized a brutal truth. Selling you a product once is terrible for their stock options. Extracting a micropayment from your bank account until the day you die is infinitely better. So they changed the rules of the game. They stopped selling products and started selling access. This began with digital media. Netflix and Spotify trained us to stop buying movies and albums. We traded the ownership of our physical media for the convenience of streaming. It seemed like a fair trade at the time. But the subscription model was a virus, and it quickly mutated beyond digital entertainment. It moved into the tools we use to work: Adobe, Microsoft, Autodesk. The software required to participate in the modern professional world became gated. And now, the virus has jumped from the digital world into the physical world. Look at what is happening to the hardware you supposedly own. You buy a printer, bring it into your home, and discover you cannot print a document unless you pay a monthly subscription for the ink cartridges. If you cancel the subscription, the printer, the physical machine sitting on your desk that you paid for, intentionally disables itself. It becomes a useless brick of plastic. Look at the automotive industry. You purchase a brand new car for $50,000. The physical heating coils are already installed in the seats. The hardware is there. But the manufacturer locks those heated seats behind a software update, demanding $18 a month to activate the hardware you already bought. You're paying a subscription fee to use your own physical property. They are testing the fences. They are seeing exactly how much of your ownership they can strip away before you push back. And so far, we haven't pushed back. We need to talk about the generational impact of this shift. Let's look at a young man named Lucas. Lucas is 23 years old. Lucas is stepping into a reality fundamentally different from the one his parents experienced. He's been conditioned for his entire digital life to understand that he will never actually own anything. He doesn't buy his software as he begins his career, he rents it. He doesn't own his media library. If he misses a monthly payment, his professional tools and his entertainment vanish instantly. By the time Lucas is 30 and fully entrenched in the workforce, he will have 50 different micro-subscriptions firmly attached to his identity. He will be paying a monthly fee for his creative tools, his basic household appliances, and the features in his vehicle. He will own absolutely nothing. You're being aggressively, systematically transformed from an owner into a perpetual tenant in every single aspect of your life. Why does ownership matter? Ownership is leverage. When you own something, you have a fixed cost, you control the asset, you have stability. When you subscribe to something, you have a lifelong liability. The price can be raised at any moment without your consent. If the company decides to double the price of your software tomorrow, you have no choice but to pay it because you can't afford to lose access to your work. You have zero leverage. This is the exact same structural trap we see in the housing market, just applied to everything else. We already established the reality of the starter home scam. We know that the entry-level salary no longer matches the entry-level house. We know that the median age of a first-time homebuyer has been pushed back an entire decade. A massive segment of this generation has been permanently priced out of real estate, forced into the rental market indefinitely. They are paying someone else's mortgage, they're building someone else's equity. But the subscription economy takes that exact same dynamic and forces it into the microtransactions of your daily life. You're not just renting your apartment anymore, you're renting your software, you're renting your entertainment, you're renting your car's features, you're renting your right to participate in modern society. And every single one of those monthly fees is a tiny siphon, draining your income before you even have a chance to save it. You're bleeding out through 1,000 tiny cuts. The people who designed this system want you to look at these costs in isolation. They want you to look at a $14 monthly fee and think it's just the price of a cup of coffee. They want to minimize the psychological impact of the transaction. But you can't look at them in isolation. You have to look at the macroeconomic reality. You have to look at the math. When you add up the cloud storage, the streaming services, the software licenses, the hardware subscriptions, and the digital access passes, you're looking at hundreds of dollars a month, thousands of dollars a year, tens of thousands of dollars over a decade, all of it flowing out of your pocket and directly into the balance sheets of massive corporations, inflating their annual recurring revenue. You're funding their stock buybacks with your lifelong liabilities. The subscription economy is not about making your life more convenient. It never was. It's a highly engineered, systemic transfer of wealth and ownership from the working class to the equity-holding class. It's about ensuring that you never stop paying. It's about making sure that the concept of having enough no longer exists. They don't want you to reach a point where your tools are paid off, your car is paid off, and your media is paid off, leaving you free to save your money and build your own wealth. If you're building your own wealth, they're not contributing to their quarterly growth. The game has been fundamentally redesigned. You're not failing because you lack personal discipline. You're not falling behind because you buy too much coffee or avocado toast. You're falling behind because the entire economy has been restructured to prevent you from accumulating equity. The math doesn't work in your favor because it was never designed to. Understanding this is the first step. You have to stop viewing these subscriptions as harmless monthly expenses. You have to recognize them for what they actually are, an invisible tax on your future, a deliberate barrier to your financial independence. You can't outwork a system that is mathematically designed to keep you renting your own life, but you can start looking for the exits. You can start prioritizing open source tools. You can start resisting the transition from owner to tenant. The system wants you to accept that you will own nothing and you will be happy. But true freedom is not having unlimited access to a rented library. True freedom is ownership, and it's time to start taking it back. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to see more videos analyzing the actual math behind the modern economy.